Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to talk about some few things like in lockdown where we can spend our time or where we can invest our time. So I'm going to ask our sir a few things. So sir, where you think we should invest our time in during lockdown?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I think during lockdown you can do a lot of things. There are so many things that we can invest our time in. For example, we must, as we have a lot of time on our hands, we can read more and more. I think we must read good literature. We must read, they say, anything and everything. But we must be very careful. There is some good literature and some bad literature. We must avoid bad literature. We must consult some teachers, some trainers, some people who are well read. We must ask them what to read, so invest our time in reading. I think this is one thing that we can do. We have other friends here, they can add a few more points to it. And Mr. Aqib, what do you think? Is there any other activity that we should invest our time in during lockdown?
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So talk about when we don't have enough time to go outside, or we can use like mobile phone in a proper way. Like we know a lot of topics that we don't know. So you can search on it on YouTube. You can go YouTube. There you have a lot of topics. You can get everything on the YouTube if you want. Like there may be other things like if you don't have time, go outside. Look, you want to do conversation, but there's only person to whom you can talk. Like just go inside the home, inside your room, and they talk in front of you. Start ratio-signing question to yourself. Start asking questions to yourself and do conversation with yourself. That's better option for you. Okay, there's another person, Mr. Sajid, sir. Do you want to say some more points about it? It will be better.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, we have a lot of ways to learn. If when it comes to learn at home, so you can do a lot of activities. Like as it is already mentioned, we can watch videos on YouTube, or you can watch some pre-recorded videos, or you can talk to your friends, you can talk to your family. And I guess you need to communicate. Like you need to talk to a lot of people. Like if you talk to some literate guys, some literate people who speak English, or yeah, of course. Or you meet some teachers and you converse with them, and I guess you learn a lot of things from them, and you'll get a lot of things to learn. And you need to read a lot. Like you can have some books at your home, you can have some novels, and if you read that novels and you just improve your vocabulary and you learn a lot of words, make some sentences on that words, you can frame some sentences, some paragraphs, and that should let you learn, and that's probably, I guess, that's going to be very much beneficial for you.
Okay. I have one question for Mr. Mubashir. It is, like, do you think, this lockdown, it is a bad thing? When we look at it, it is a bad thing. But if we look at the brighter side of things, do you think God has given us an opportunity to spend some time with family, which otherwise is a very rare thing these days, right? So do you think we got an opportunity and we must make the most of it?
Exactly. I do agree with your points that you talked about, like how we can improve or where we can spend on time. But there is a thing that we talk about, positive aspect of, is that nowadays we're at home. Like it's like something that has put us there to spend our time with our family, to understand them. When we spend time with our family, with our siblings, so we get to understand them better. So I guess that app that was made by, I don't know by what, but now we're about to fill that gap. We're about to to get interactive with our whosoever we have at our home. So now we are a little closer to them. We talk to them, so we tend to understand them. So I guess this is the positive aspect of lockdown. But one more thing, why do we need to make conversations that they were talking about? But here in Kashmir, we don't have people who speak English. So around there is Kashmiri people listening everywhere. So why do we need to make conversations? Why do we need to communicate in English? That it's not our native language. It's, I guess, a foreign language to us. So in order to keep going, we need to talk. We need to spend our time in it. We need to make we need to make conversations. We need to talk more. So where we can talk, We don't have people around. We're just our family members, maybe who don't speak English. So I guess we can, we have mobile phones nowadays. We can connect to people. Like we have, online classes going on. We can, just attend them and we can talk. That's how we can, we can do all this stuff. And yeah, that's what I can add. And I would love to, pass this to Mr. Sir, please.
Okay, we one more thing. One thing that we do not do is we do not write. We must write more and more. Write-ups help, if you do it every evening or every morning. You write things. You write about anything, something that comes to your mind, or you feel like writing about the lockdown. You feel like writing about the coronavirus. You feel like writing about sports, entertainment, about anything. So your creativity, it increases. You become more creative. More you write, more you become creative, and you get to know where you need to improve on, what you need to work on. Like, is it your vocabulary? Is it those good sentence structures? Like, if you read every day, you write every day, this is how you improve your language. This is how you learn different words, new structures. I think writing, reading, spending time with your family, then talking to our friends, indulging in online education, online classwork, and like Mr. AQIB said, we have mobile phones. With us, we can benefit from social media, from YouTube, from other stuff. So I think this is something that we can do during the lockdown. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I just want to ask you another question. Often we face this problem. Whenever we talk with a native speaker, we are not able to understand his speech. Like maybe it's the listening power that we don't have well enough to understand that person, or is it something different?
Look, I think the first thing that we can do is, in order to understand the native speakers, we must understand the sounds of the target language. If you're talking about you're talking about English here, right? So when you talk about English, the English language, there are certain aspects, technicalities, and nuances that we must understand, that we must know. For example, there are in connected speech, there are a lot of things that the native speakers do, and we do not understand them. For example, if you talk about assimilation. Assimilation, it is a process when there are two sounds, when they come together, and the pronunciation of one of the sounds changes. For example, if a word ends with a T sound or T sound, T, and the following word starts with a Y sound, the preceding T, it becomes Ch. For example, don't you, it becomes don't you. Imagine a person who does not have any knowledge about the accents. If he or she hears someone say don't you, maybe he or she, they may not understand the word at all. So there are a lot of things like these. Sometimes they drop sounds, they drop T's, they say getting better when they actually mean getting better or getting better, right? So dropping sound or changing the pronunciation of sounds. So in connected speech, we see these things. So if we work on these things, I think it'll be a lot easier for us to understand the native speakers.
Okay, thanks, sir. It was great. Like often we see people, they say it's really hard to learn English language. What do you think about it? How hard it is to learn English language?
All right. When it comes to learning, it's not hard or it's not difficult to learn. First of all, you need to be curious. What all matters is curiosity to learn. You must be curious to learn. You should have that desire to learn. And if you are curious to learn anything, so you can learn that easily. And it's not probably, if you ask me about this English language, it is not tough. It's not difficult. Ask anyone, people would say, or they would consider it very difficult just because either they don't get a good trainer who can teach them or who can train them, or they don't have that good sources where they could learn. This can be the reason probably. If you have got any friend who wants to learn, just prepare them, like let them speak freely, whatever comes to their mind, let them speak. Where they do something wrong, or if there are some errors, correct them and give them some constructions, give them some words so that they can improve their vocabulary, they can improve their pronunciation, they can improve everything what they what is required for this English language. And moreover, you can help them, you can let them converse with the teachers who are able to speak, or you can let them watch these videos where they can learn.
Okay, it was Marwick. Like, I just want to ask another question to Mubashir, sir. Mubashir, you tell me, like, we often see like these type of things whenever a person comes, he just is a beginner in this field, he wants to learn English language, and when he sees around and he sees a lot of personalities, they are the great speakers of English language, and he compares himself with those speakers, and he says it's really hard to learn English language. They already have learned it. What do you think about it? Should we compare ourselves with another person?
Yeah, the thing that I want to talk about is that it's not about comparing yourself with others. It's like of the time. They have spent some time here. They have practiced. They have worked on it. So we just see the improvement, or we do not see the work they have made on it. But I guess as a beginner, we should think that we should take the things as inspiration. We gotta work on it. We need to think about it, that I need to, is a point where I have to reach. So I guess taking it as positive would be a good thing. Like when I was a beginner, when I started learning English, like I saw people there were speaking nice, were speaking good. At that time that I realized that I'm gonna work and I'm gonna be like them. I'm gonna speak like them, because I had a desire to speak like them. So then I worked, spent time there, learned to work on those category of things, and that's how I became a little able to speak. So that's how the things would work. So I guess this is what I can add here.
It was just an offhand discussion, so I hope it's going to benefit you to a great extent. Thank you.